The United States had recently left one of its worst time periods during the Civil War, caused mainly by this topic of of slavery. It left the U.S. divided, while the South kept its mindset uh, towards white supremacy. The North seemed to become better for black families, providing less racism, more economic opportunities, and being better for families with the education reform. Post-Civil War slavery was ruled non-legal by the federal court, but racism was not, as both the South and the North retained some racist aspects, such as black codes. For example, the North had black codes that would disallow certain rights to black people, such as Ohio laws. But in 1849, Ohio repealed most of those laws, and after 1870, most of the northern black codes were no longer there and had been repealed, while the South, such as Mississippi, during the late 19th century, still had black codes, such as ones that did not allow black people to rent farmland, which was the main source for black people, because a lot of them were former slaves, and that's all that they know was how to farm. And in 1866, the former Confederacy adopted black codes, the entire Confederacy. So while both the South and the North were far from perfect, the North was more accepting of black people against the South. This, with the North's economic growth, led many black families to move up north. Post-Civil War, the economy was not in the best shape, as a large sum of money was used to pay for the costs of fighting in the war. But the South was hit even harder, as they lost most of their money coming from cotton, because in 1840 the South made roughly two-thirds of the cotton, while at 1870 90% came from the North. And so the South was losing money rapidly, and their economy was declining. Because of this, there were less jobs open for for people in the South, while the North, while the North was moving towards factory workers, and those were low wage, low education needed, and were perfect for uneducated black people. So those jobs became mostly black and allowed black people to find an economy outside of the South. But there were many more reasons why they left the South. Uh, the North also had better education for families and better life quality, but those did not have as much as an impact as the racism and the economic mix of the North against the South. Though the North was far from perfect, it was still better than the South for black families, because the South was racist still, and so was the North. But the North was becoming more accepting of black rights as well. The North had a better economy that could provide more jobs to people, and people tend to move to where their jobs, as well as there being other minor factors such as education and the quality of life. So, though the North was far from perfect, it was still better than the South for black families. Thank you for listening.